is the Monsoon Cup in Malaysia, and I've been out on the water and I got wet in the hot seat. So this is it, the final show of the 2011 World Match Racing Tour. I'm Hannah White and I'm coming to you live from Kuala Terengganu and the last day of the Monsoon Cup. It has been an incredible year and finished off with an incredible event. We do have one finalist as we head towards the finals, but we do have the semi-finals to complete. So let's have a look at those all-important semi-final results. Well, it was Berntsen of Sweden who, in a huge match against Peter Gilmore, finally defeated him 3-2 in the first semi-final pairings. And Radek of Denmark is still battling it out on the water against Ian Williams of Great Britain. The current standings are Radek 1, Williams 2. So one of those pair will go through to meet Johnny Berntsen of Sweden in the final here at the Monsoon Cup. But as I said, it's been an incredible year. We have a new world champion. Ian Williams takes his third world title in 5 years here in Malaysia, and the Monsoon Cup is nearly over. The 2011 World Match Racing Tour is nearly over, so there's one very appropriate person to talk to, our Executive Chairman of the World Match Racing Tour, Patrick Lim. Thank you for joining me. Patrick, it's been an incredible year on the World Tour.
It certainly has, Hannah. It's been exciting and it's been beyond our expectations so far.
I mean, for me, being involved, I've got to know all of these guys. I've got to know their personalities, their characters. They've had me laughing, they've had me crying. And for you trying to build a sporting event, those personalities are crucial, aren't they?
I think absolutely. People get attached to the personalities on the tour. And I think this year with your show and all the things that are happening, that's coming up to the fore. People are feeling the passion, the raw emotion of competition, and I think that's really what rivets people to television. When you see and you can connect with the personality. I mean, yesterday everybody was crestfallen when Mersky lost, you know, and that's what great competition is. It's about personalities. If you go back to Ali, Fraser, so on and so forth, and I think this year the tour and the personalities and the sailors are forming a connection, and the public's forming a connection with them, which is great.
And of course, lots more to look forward to in 2012. We have a lot of those guys coming back, so the same characters again, but we'll see some new faces as well. But also the tour is changing. We've got more commercial sponsors on board, more interesting rules, things being brought in all the time, new innovations.
Yeah, I think we are really glad that the sailors and the entire sailing fraternity has really embraced some of the changes that we are putting in without compromising the integrity or the level of competition, and that's great. Because I think one of the things we need to do, or we feel we'd like to do, is make this, you know, infinitely more exciting and to meet the demands of today's television audience. And that's a balance which you have to take into account when looking at what to put in place without compromising the competition, the integrity, the heritage of this sport. And bit by bit, you know, for instance, the coaches, which went well, that's good. Taking away certain rules, modifying. So I think we're going well. And for next year, there are a few exciting announcements, you know. It's been a learning curve for us since we bought the tour in 2008. So I think what we'll do is, when it happens, we'll make the announcement. But there are certainly some quite exciting announcements. There are improvements on the tour. I think the depth and quality of competition, of venues, and the caliber of the tour should rise a notch maybe 2 next year.
I mean, talk to me about here, in Kuala Terengganu for the Monsoon Cup. This is an extraordinary event. The whole of Malaysia gets behind it. We have had thousands of people, I think 30,000 people here yesterday watching the action. And there's a lot that can be learnt from this event at the other events, isn't there?
Yeah, I think this is the one event that everything gets together. You've got all the stakeholders from the local population to the federal government to all the stakeholders come together to make this a fantastic event. It is really the showpiece of the tour, and it's a wonderful place to bring in foreign delegation to have a look at as to what's the entire extent of the benefits and impact the tour can have. And yeah, the crowds are a fantastic affirmation, and to see that what happens on the water is infinitely important, but also what happens off the water also contributes significantly to the entire experience of the tour.
And tell me, have you personally, you've obviously bought the World Match Racing Tour, are you enjoying being part of it?
It's a buzz. I know it's a wonderful experience. You get to meet fantastic people, go to fantastic locations, and all the while the event's paying the bills, because it is a business entity at the end of the day. It's doing well, it's progressing, and I'm very pleased. And it's personally, it's a fantastic event to be part of. I feel privileged. I feel honored. We're here today. Tomorrow there'll be another entity or group of people that will take over the tour in time to come. And the tour will continue, and hopefully we are laying down the foundations for something that will continue for a long, long time and bring a lot of benefits, joy, excitement to lots of people.
Okay, well, it's certainly brought a lot of joy and excitement to a lot of people this year. Patrick Lim, Executive Chairman of the World Match Racing Tour, thank you very much. Well, we heard Patrick talking about some of the new rules that have been brought in. One of the most important has been the use of coaches in the knockout rounds here at the Monsoon Cup. And we spent a little bit of time looking into the intricacies of that new rule. So we spoke to Peter Gilmore this morning about the new rule that has been brought in to do with coaching. So all of the teams now in the quarterfinals are allowed to nominate a coach which they can communicate with out on the water. The coaches are situated on the top balcony of this building. They can look out over the racecourse, feed information into the teams, and then once they come onto the dock, we can see here behind us Mathieu Richard talking to Peter Gilmore and his team about everything that he's seen. So the coach will keep an eye on the other matches, which way the other competitors went, whether it worked for them, what's happening out on the water, feeding information all the time about what's going on. So this is very, very interesting. Mathieu Richard, who went out yesterday in the qualifying round, has now been assigned as Peter Gilmore's coach. Peter asked him if he'd coach for him, and now here he is, an ex-competitor in the World Match Racing Tour, coaching Peter Gilmore, who is still in. So we're now here with Simon Shaw, tactician from Yanmar Racing. Simon, we've just seen you talking to your coach, Mathieu Richard. How important is it to have that information coming in off the water?
I mean, today this is all new for everyone. We have a radio link, and we've been talking this over the night about how we want to use that information. And we thought it was important to get Mathieu down to the dock just to tidy a couple little bits up. But I mean, they have a huge vantage point from up on the top of the building there, and I think it's going to be really useful, and the teams that use it better, I think you may see, moving forward in the competition.
Does it take the pressure off you as a tactician on board, not having to keep your eyes and ears open to so many other things that are going on the water?
I mean, in short answer, yes. Yesterday was some of the hardest decision making I've ever had. Trying to pick the gate and pick the side. The race officer Dave Tallis is doing a great job of making it a hard decision. I mean, today perhaps the right's a bit stronger, so that makes my role a little more easy, and having a second pair of eyes from the top of the building really helps.
And your opponent Phil Robertson, does he have a coach?
I don't actually know, but I'd like to think right now we're probably doing as good a job as anybody of using that information and trying to turn it into advantage on the racecourse.
Well, you're 1-0 up at the moment, so it's obviously working for you. Simon Shaw, tactician. So he's taken his sailing shoes off and he's picked up his clipboard. Mathieu, a bit of a different role today. Can you just talk to me about what information you're providing for Peter Gilmore as his coach?
Well, actually, I'm in contact with his tactician, with Simon Shaw, and we have talked yesterday and this morning about what he wants me to say, and so we have some information that they need before the start, but also especially during the first run when you have to choose your mark at the gate. So I'm here for that. I look at the other matches and see what happens on the other matches, and I give them my feeling about the best side they have to take. So it worked well on the first match. Hopefully it will go like that on the next ones.
And is it hard for you being here now, no longer sailing this event, having to turn your mind to helping somebody else?
For sure, it's not where I wanted to be, but yes, that was yesterday. We were eliminated, and I'm very happy that Peter asked me to be a coach, because it's a fun way to stay on the regatta and to help them to try to win and to have still the excitement of the racing. So I'm happy to do this job.
And as a competitor, do you think this new rule allowing information from coaches to the boat is a good one?
It's interesting, yes. That's really the first time we experience that, and well, I think it seems to be very interesting. It works well. The radio is okay, and it's a new way of sailing and calling the tactics. So that's interesting for everything and for everyone, I think.
Okay, thank you very much, Mathieu Richard, competitor turned coach here at the Monsoon Cup. So a lot of the teams making the most of their coaches, a new rule that's been brought in here at the Monsoon Cup. Well, I've come down onto the dock ahead of the completion of the semi-finals. We've got two teams heading out on the water, Jesper Radek and Adrian Lee and partners, and Ian Williams of Team GAC Pindar. Of course, it's 2-1 to Williams at the moment in the semi-finals, and one of these teams will go through to the finals to race against Johnny Berntsen of Sweden. We're going to come along the dock and see if we can grab a word with Jesper Radek and see how he feels about his race, which is happening. Jesper, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you feeling?
I'm all good, you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Jesper, it's been an interesting week. Lots of disappointments for some people, highs and lows, but you're still hanging on in there.
We're hanging on very well, I think. We had a tough start of the week. We just managed to scrape through, like most other teams, and then apparently all the top teams from the round robin, they got kicked out, and now the guys who just had all the pressure on their shoulders, they made it through. It's just funny how it works out. Anyway, we are in the semis now with Ian Williams, defending world champion at the moment, and we'll just give it a full go.
I mean, he's not an easy competitor, as you say. He is just the new world champion. You know, not an easy person to meet in the semis. But if you got through, you'd race against Johnny Berntsen in the final. I mean, you're 2-1 down at the moment. What's the magic? What are you gonna? Where are you gonna find it from, Jesper, to go out there and take this 3-2?
Well, I think the key is just to focus on winning, because we don't have any. There's no really chances left. I mean, if we lose this one, then that's it. And to be honest, I don't feel that I don't feel a lot of pressure on the shoulders. I think I really want to win, and if we lose, that's how it is. But I really want to give it a full go at winning, because it could be fantastic to get it to the final this year. Last year we made it to the semis, and to make it to the finals this year would be really something.
I mean, there's a lot of chat around here of people saying if anyone can beat Ian Williams, you can. So there's a lot of people supporting you, a lot of people that would like to see Ian not win both trophies. So there must be a little pressure there.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. I think I go into a little bit of my own little box when I'm mentally preparing for the racing. I don't listen too much to what people are saying or what's happening. I just do my own preparation, and I didn't really hear that chatter, so I'm happy you brought it to me.
Yeah, there you go. And how are you utilising your coach? You've got Fred from Damien Yell's team. Is that information being helpful for you?
It is nice to get confirmations of things we think are correct. At the same time, it's pretty interesting that even this guy and this guy actually doesn't see things too differently than we do. I think generally we are actually we're pretty spot on what we see on board, but I think it's it's an interesting concept, and it is completely undeveloped yet. I think if you had a coach through several seasons, you can have an amazing cooperation there, and I mean, just subtle words here and there, exactly where to put in one information, another piece of information. It's going to change the game completely. We're not at that stage at all. We're just getting eye in the sky, what's happening, what's the general what's the preview for the next 5 minutes, and then we use that.
And do you think there are, you know, Ian's got any particular weaknesses that you're going to focus on and get him with? Or do you just look at him as any other team? He's just an opponent, or is he Ian Williams and you're out there to get him?
I think Ian Williams is pretty organized with his team. He's definitely the most organized skipper. He's done the most world tours together with Richard, I think, far more than I have, and especially with the same group of guys for a long time. I know they've developed their systems, and I think they have a very high, you know, let's say bottom level or whatever. I don't think they never really fall through, but I think sometimes perhaps their systems can get them a little bit locked into one plan when you have to change your idea, and I don't know, I'm just trying to put a weakness on them.
but pretty much they're quite strong at the moment, aren't they?
I think they're strong, but I mean not unbeatable. We beat them yesterday for second race and third race. I mean, without us having a penalty and having to be aggressive, we were actually leading that race, and so we could have won that one.
Okay, all right, Jesper. Well, very best of luck there out in the semi-finals. But of course, it's all nice on the dock, but when we get out on the water, it's a completely different game.
Cold dark water was the best for me. It carried me through the night. Whistle stop with 2 seats all free. I said I dropped the bomb and kept my feet. Crest is hill with the shining spine, bold as I could be.
Hey, Martin, to win! Hey, Brighton! Brighton! Hey, Brighton! Hey, that's a double! What are you doing? Oh, protest! No way! Keep coming up! Hey! All the way!
He's rolling the boat. That's forbidden to do that. Huh? He says this is forbidden.
Hey! Come on! Hey, I got a turn! Hey! Friday! Fucking hell, guys! Friday!
So I'm sure we'll be seeing some of that anger and frustration out on the water later as we head into the semi-finals. We've seen one of our semi-finalists. We're going to catch a chat with the next semi-finalist now, Ian Williams. He's won one trophy here already this week, the World Championship trophy. Can he get another one? Let's find out. Ian, could we just have a quick chat? Hello, good morning. So one trophy down, one to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, it's fantastic to win the World Championships. It's what we came here to do is our primary goal. But the Monsoon Cup's a big deal. It's a fabulous regatta, and we really want to win it.
Now, we've just been hearing back sort of in the building, a lot of people think that Jesper's got a good chance of beating you. If anyone can, he can. How do you feel about that?
Well, maybe that's the case. I don't know. We're 2-1 up, so we've been going okay so far. We've just obviously got to get one from the next two. If we can get to the same sort of levels of intensity on board that we got to yesterday and towards the end of the day before, then I think we'll be too much of a handful for him. But of course it's hard, hard to pick yourself up after a day like yesterday. So that's going to be our challenge.
Well, I mean, it was a long day yesterday. Did you get a good night's sleep? Are you feeling more rested this morning?
Yeah, I am. It was a really long day. Obviously lots of highs and lows, but mostly highs actually. Thinking about it.
Yeah, but, tell me about the lows. There can't have been many of them.
Well, we lost a couple of races, and that wasn't so good. But yeah, no, it's a very emotional day, and and that does take it out of you. So yes, we got a good night's sleep. Hopefully, we're fully recuperated and ready to do battle today.
Okay, Ian, well, very best of luck. Ian Williams and Team JC Pindar heading out on the water to take on Jesper Radic in the semi-finals. There are plenty of ways to follow the action here, but if you are a fan of match racing, you need to download our new e-zine. Match Racing 360. Issue 2 of Match Racing 360, the world's first e-zine dedicated to match racing, is now available for download at matchrace.com. And there don't come any bigger days than right here in the Monsoon Cup in Malaysia for the final day of the 2011 World Match Racing Tour and the Monsoon Cup. As we've heard, we have a new world champion, but somebody will be lifting the Monsoon Cup up later. Ian Williams has won the World Championship. Who will come second? Who will come third? You can find out all here by watching us. We'll be going live between 3 and 5 local time. That's UTC +8. And if not, I will be at the prize giving for the Today Show later on. This is the final day of the 2011 World Match Racing Tour, so please follow all the action.